Hola chicos, hi guys, welcome to Dímelo Cantando con Isabella Chapini, coming to you from the UCFM studio situated in Ngunnawal country, a show where we talk about everything Latin American. Welcome to episode 3. I have the president of UC LASA here with me. Martin, how are you?
I'm doing incredible after that great introduction.
So, I hear that you are going to be working on the Hoedown Showdown.
Yes, it's going to be a very cool event. I work with UCX, so I've been pretty involved with the creation of this great event.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have everything that you can ever imagine. We're going to have a mechanical bull.
Oh my god.
We're going to have some like line dancing. We're going to have some cool hats for the people that get in early.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
So it's going to be a very cool event. You know, you can just come in with your friends and have a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're pretty involved on campus, like at UC, no?
Yeah, I'd say so. I have the privilege of living in campus and always trying to meet new people and making uni a little bit more fun. So
Right.
I try to get involved in all the events that are happening, you know, also by creating my own club, creating my own events. And sometimes I get myself in very particular situations. I had to do a TikTok dance for the promotion of the Hoedown Showdown.
How did that go?
That went pretty well. It was very fun. I am not, like, even though I'm Latino, I'm not the best dancer, you know?
Really?
Yeah, ironic that the president of LASA that hosts dancing classes does not dance that well. But I put in confidence. That is what matters.
That is what matters. I agree.
Exactly. So I learned it the day off with all my coworkers, and it came out a banger. Even though you can't really see me that much.
Yeah. I'm from the United States, so I've never tried line dancing or any of that.
Really?
So wow, you're ahead of me.
Yeah. I also lived in the U.S. for 2 years.
Really?
I lived in California, in Coronado, like right next to San Diego, and I have vivid memories of me being a kid and being taught how to do line dancing.
So it wasn't your first rodeo?
It was not my first rodeo.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty experienced with my rodeos, you might say.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about LASA.
Well, I think that it should be better for me to start saying what my experience was when I started university, because that's what made me create LASA. When I first got to uni, I felt kind of alone in the sense that I thought that there weren't that many Latinos in campus. You know, I hadn't really heard a person speak Spanish that weren't from my friend group beforehand.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, wow, there's not really that much to do with Latinos. And I was like, that's a shame. But then the year started going and I started meeting new people. I started meeting more Latinos. I was like, wait, there's so many Latinos here. Why do they not do anything together? You know,
Yeah.
We're all in a similar situation. We all want to get back to our roots and celebrate our incredible, incredible culture. So I started talking with my good friends and now committee of LASA, which is Sebastián Gago and Mateo Cavalcanti, and Matias Redamar as well. And we just went ahead with it. And it's been a success after it. It's been an incredible success. We enjoy it so much. We do cool parties. We do cool dancing events. We just hang out, have fun.
I can verify this.
Yeah.
I can verify this. Yeah.
Yeah. You've put yourself in a great situation for the events. You're killing it in karaoke as well.
Yes. Yeah, we will get more into that later. But yeah, tell me a little bit more about, I guess, your experience coming from Chile. Did you come directly from Chile?
I did come directly from Chile. And very particularly, I came from Chile in the middle of 2020, 2021. Or, end of 2021. So when I got to Australia, beginning of 2021. So when I came to Australia, I had my COVID brain. I did not leave my house for almost a full year when I was back in Chile because the restrictions and lockdowns were so harsh that I was just like...
Really? In Chile?
Yeah. They were pretty bad. You know, for the first 6 months, I was just unable to go outside. And following that, I was only able to go outside twice a week with a permit for 30 minutes. So I just had this idea that if I ever went outside, you know, I'll... Yeah, it was pretty
the paranoia.
Tough. Exactly. So I came to Australia almost in the middle of the pandemic. And, the plane was almost empty. And I arrived here. I spent that week of quarantine. And I went immediately to, year 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to college, and I just see every single person not wearing a mask, being so close together. Because COVID was not a thing in Canberra at that time. COVID was not, spreading around. It hadn't been there yet.
Mm-hmm.
It was, but it just, disappeared. So I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, exactly.
And, my first date was a little bit lonely. But then the second day, I saw this incredibly tall French guy speaking the most French Spanish I've ever heard in my life. It was very funny. So I approached this guy, and he said, oh, yeah, I'm from France, but I speak Spanish. This is my Spanish friend, Edu. And when I said that I was from Chile, he immediately went and ran into a middle of a class and screamed, David, there's another Chilean guy here. And that's where I got my first friend group. And then it's just been incredible since then. I never really felt that alone here. Great people in Australia. There's a reason why I'm going to ideally stay here. Mm-hmm. I, of course, miss home, miss great things about my country. But, I just love it here too much. It's been great.
Yeah, I love the Latino, tendency to just stick together all the time. It's the whole, running into a classroom and being like, oh, my God, there's another person from Chile. That is so... Wow, that's awesome. That's the best way to meet a friend, I think.
100%.
Being announced to a whole class that you have arrived. That's awesome.
Yeah, the only person that was not a fan was the teacher.
I'm sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Wow, that was a lot. So you lived in the U.S.?
I did live in the U.S., yes, because my dad is from the Navy. And my dad being from the Navy, he's had to get transferred to a lot of other countries, including England, the U.S. I lived in Ecuador for 2 years. I lived in most cities in Chile. Not most, wow. In a couple of cities in Chile. Mm-hmm. And I also came to Australia because of that, So I've got to travel quite a bit,
mm-hmm. And would you say that, would you consider your cultural identity to still be primarily Chilean?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Yeah. You guys are very proud of...
Chileans, we can insult our culture and our country as much as we want, but the moment that someone says anything bad, we're like, we're the best country in Chile.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. The best country in Chile is a Chilean meme. We had a minister of health talking about COVID stats, and he was like, oh yeah, we're the best country in Chile. And that just became a joke.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's so interesting to talk about COVID restrictions in different places, because I feel like, obviously I was in the US and it was really bad over there. And we were in lockdown for a while, but also because of, the way that American culture kind of works, it was we were on lockdown, but not really. People wouldn't really respect it a lot of the times. And towards the end of the pandemic, people just started completely being like, oh, I don't want to wear a mask, which is crazy. But I can't even imagine them being asking for a permit to leave.
Yeah, you need a permit. You needed a permit, and if you were caught without a permit, you would get a significant fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was pretty insane. I still managed to have some fun at 6 months in. I lived in a very nice little community, so I still managed to go outside a little bit, but not that much. And back to the U.S., government ain't telling me what to do. Mm-hmm. God bless America.
Oh, God bless freedom.
Freedom.
We
love freedom.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit more about the founding of LASA.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really know how the whole process of starting a club was.
Were you a part of ANU LASA first?
No, actually.
Okay.
The first time I heard about LASA, I was working at a place called Chimi, which is an Argentinian place where they're sold choripanes. And I was telling my boss, Juan, it's hey, it'd be pretty cool to create something for Latinos. Wait, there's a guy called Marcos from LASA ANU. And, he reached out to me because he wanted me to start something at UC, but I was I don't have any time. So he just gave me his number, and I started talking with Marcos. And then I went ahead with the whole procedure, send the business proposal, set the AGM. It was a lot of work, and I learned a lot from it. But after just harassing everyone, just like, please come to this event, we managed to get like a very nice crowd for our inaugural meeting. We had some pizza, and I was really trying to get the karaoke in for that night, and no one was like,
no.
Yeah, so I was like just singing karaoke from the passion of my heart, and I was like, cool, Martin, I'm not gonna do that.
Right, like if anyone is going to sing karaoke,
drunk,
it's gonna
they gotta be drunk.
Yeah, but I love how you held down the fort. You're like, I did not do this for nothing. I'm gonna do something about it, and you guys can decide whether or not you're gonna join me. Yeah.
And to be honest, it's been amazing. I've met so many great people because of LASA. I've had a lot of fun because of LASA, and I've learned a lot from creating LASA. And also I got my current job because of LASA. Yeah.
Nice.
I got my job at UCX because, I'm the one in charge of clubs and societies now.
Wow.
With UD.
Okay.
He's the clubs coordinator. I'm like the officer. And
nice.
It's a great job. I love working in that environment because it's a passion. I will try my best to make life on campus a little bit more fun.
And I think you have. I think, I'm an exchange student, and I think it was the first week. I don't know when we had that first meeting.
The empanadas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just for context, I met Martin at that, first meet and greet thing. And it was so funny because, I came in, and then you were immediately like, hi, how are you, whatever. Super nice, super kind. And then I went around the room and started talking to people, and I realized that, there's this guy from Armenia. There was, there was someone that was Australian but then moved to the US and then moved back to Australia for uni. And there was, a bunch of different people, and I was like, how did you guys find out about LASA? Yeah. And they were like, oh, yeah, Martin was running around campus and telling people that, he was giving out empanadas, and, we just ended up showing up. And I'm like, that is so funny.
Yeah. Sometimes when you create events, you just have no shame. You just start running around and screaming, hey, free empanadas.
Yeah.
And we got to meet new people because of that. And a couple of them actually joined for the Latino party that we had afterwards.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you manage to go to one of the Latino reggaeton nights?
I did. I went to one, and I loved it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I feel like there's something so different about hearing reggaeton in, a club setting. Yeah. I loved it a lot. I was there. And I was dancing the whole time.
Let's go. Yeah, we are going to have another one on the 26th.
Ooh.
So that's going to be quite exciting to fill anyone in. We do a collaboration with Fiction, in which we bring a DJ from Sydney called DJ Sev. He's from Peru. And we have only reggaeton, and members get free entry. And before that, we also hang out and have a couple of drinks and have a lot of fun. And it's always great, it's always a lot of fun. And the next one is the 26th, and we're also going to do a karaoke night before that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be a packed day.
Nice. So also, for those that don't know, LASA is also open to people that are not Latino or Latina, whatever. So yeah, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about Latin culture, if you want to, I know that there's conversation nights at ANU.
Yeah. There is conversation nights. We're trying to implement it on UC, but I'm a little bit destroyed with exams and assignments.
So understandable.
Work. But I'll try to make it for the next semester. 100%, a weekly thing.
Yeah, and so if you want to stop by and practice your Spanish skills, if you guys ever take any Spanish classes and want to put it to the test, definitely come out. I've heard, I haven't been myself, but I've heard that they're really fun. Yeah. So yeah,
I'll test your Spanish. I'll be a great teacher.
And so you also run the LASA Instagram, right? Do you want to plug that in?
Of course, people? It's uc.lasa. It's a very fun social media. I'll give you a little bit of context behind that. That when we first started, we had the great idea of just having a mascot.
So, I was going to ask about that, yeah.
Yeah, I actually did not bring Nico.
No.
I don't have him.
It's okay. He's here in spirit.
In spirit, yeah. So we have a mascot called Nico the Sloth. So technically, I'm not the one who runs the social media. It's Nico the Sloth.
Oh, okay.
So I've learned a lot of marketing creating that account, but it's just a lot of fun. We try to take as much photos as possible. We do cool things like the sloth cooking or just the sloth having fun and dancing. And yeah, UC.LASA. It's a lot of great content, and it lets you know all the events that we have coming up on campus and outside campus.
Woo! Yeah, go follow that. And there's also a Facebook?
There is a Facebook, yes. It's Latin American Student Association at UC. Not the easiest name, but, you know.
Is there anything else?
We have the Discord. We have a Discord. We also announce everything on the Discord server. If you want to see our Instagram, you're going to find that link right there. And yeah, it's a great way to communicate, Discord.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about Chile.
So Chile is my country and an incredible, beautiful country. I've had the chance to live in Viña del Mar, which is coastal center, and Punta Arenas, which is in the most southern part. And I'd say that it's the most beautiful country I've been in. No bias at all. You know, we have everything from the north, where we have the Atacama Desert. We have Atacama, and it's just the most dry place imaginable. Then we have the coast, which is like very much like the coast of Australia, I'd say. You get incredible views. It's just amazing. Then you got the capital, Santiago, in which it's such a huge and beautiful city with great architecture, and you can also see the Andes Mountains from there.
Nice.
We have on the south, in my opinion, the most beautiful part of Chile and the world, La Patagonia Chilena. We have Las Torres del Paine, Chiloé, and I really, really love everything that has to do with the geographical aspect of my country.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like Chile is like this long strip of country, just like on the side of South America. So I always wondered, if you wanted to travel from the bottom to the top, how long would it take? Like
on a flight or in a car?
Either.
In a car, it might take like 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
2 weeks. I could be giving a random number, but I think that's like how much it would take.
I mean, it is a very long.
Because it's very, very long. It's the longest country in the world. And plus, it's not always connected. You know?
Really?
Yeah, in the southern part, there's actually a bunch of islands, so you'll need to take...
like a ferry?
Like a ferry. So I've not gone through the whole trip. I've actually not been that much to the northern part of Chile. But, you know, I know some people that have done it, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that is definitely a time commitment.
Yeah, it's pretty big time commitment. But, you know, Chile has plenty of other things. We have incredible food. We have incredible events. We're very proud. We have a lot of... I'd say we connect a lot on the ordinary things, you know, like a great bread. Oh, we have amazing bread. In the morning, we eat a lot of avocado, and we call it palta.
Yeah.
You know, the correct way to say it.
I remember, so I helped out for an event when we were making completos, and then you like texted me, you were like, oh yeah, we're just going to be like mushing up some palta. And I was like, huh? So yeah, palta.
Palta. It's a very funny thing we have with the Latinos. We just argue the definition of different words, because we have a lot of words that are just different. You know?
Really? Like what?
For example, if I say cachar,
okay,
in Spanish is in Chilean Spanish, it's like, do you understand? Me cachai?
Yeah.
We have a very particular Spanish in Chile. So we have cachaipo, and we also use weon, which is like a very similar way of saying mate.
Yeah.
The thing is that you use these words in other countries within South America, you're not going to have nice looks. You know?
Right. It's like marico in Venezuelan Spanish.
Exactly. You know? So there's a story of a Chilean guy that went to Ecuador, Guayaquil, and he just asked for the time. It's like, hi, sorry, what time is it? And they gave him the time. He's like, gracias, weón. They killed him.
No!
I I swear. They kill that guy for
God.
insulting them. In his mind, he was just saying, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Those people were not
Not happy about that.
not happy about that at all.
Yeah. I feel like Venezuela also has like a bunch of weird words too. Like we say cotufa instead of like popcorn. How do you say?
Oh, in Spanish is palomitas.
Yeah,
In Chile, in Spanish,
yeah.
cabritas.
Cabritas.
We say
Oh,
cabritas.
wow.
Yeah.
And then for like a straw, we say pitillo.
Pitillo, no bombilla.
Isn't it pajilla too?
Pajilla, sí. Paja.
Yeah.
Sí. Tenemos... Hay hasta cambios en lugares en distintas partes de Chile. Por ejemplo, lollipops. In the north of Chile, we call them kayaks.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
kayak. De ahí in the south, we call it loli.
Mm.
And yeah, I think that's a divide.
Yeah, it was really weird, even for me to come here and people call candy lollies.
Lollies. Yeah, that is weird. I'm sorry, Australia. Why do you call candies lollies?
Yeah, it's like you're naming it after one type of candy.
Exactly. It was so funny because I think it was my first week working at a just convenience store, and someone's like, "Oh, where's the lolly section?" It's like, oh, sorry, what?
The lollipop
The
section.
lollipop section. Lollipops are right there. It's like, no, like overall candy. It's like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Have there been any like culture shocks for you coming to Canberra?
Surprisingly, not as many as I expected them to be. But, in general, people wake up so early, which is something that I always do. Try to. But they close everything so goddamn early.
Yes.
In Chile, it's like, you know what? It's 10 p.m. Let me go shopping. I want to buy some stuff. Here, it's 10 p.m. and everything's closed. Like, oh, I want to go to the pharmacy. It's closed.
I never understood, like, if you have a full-time job and you stop working at 5, how are you supposed to do anything after work?
It's incredible. Now that I work 9 to 5, I've been unable to go shopping properly. And it's the worst. Like, for example, this happened to me way too much. I live on campus. So sometimes I get locked out. It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes the doors are not working or just I left my card inside.
That happens to me all the time with my dorm. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be that bad if there was someone at Uni Lodge working there. But because I finish at 5, they finish at 5.
Yeah.
So I got to call after hours and it's so embarrassing. They gotta go from their house to mine. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I've had to call after hours and be like, hey, I don't have my card. Hey, do you mind letting me in, please?
Oh, yeah. It's very embarrassing.
But yeah, I think even, well, in the US, I think everything's available all the time.
Yes.
But I think just in general, I'm so used to functioning later, like everything being later. I don't know. I feel like at least I think in Minnesota we don't really do anything early in the morning. We just do we just do it in the afternoon or later, especially if it's work obviously is in the morning, but like everything else just usually is more later in the day.
Like lunch. Lunch breaks at my workplace is at 12. Sometimes I have breakfast at 12 in Chile.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's kind of ruined my whole schedule when it comes to what I eat. But it is quite funny how sometimes like, okay, I finished studying, I finished my class, it's 2:30, let me have lunch. And everything is closed at 2:30. How would that make sense?
Yeah, because on like Sundays especially, everything closes even earlier.
Yeah.
If it's even open. Yeah. Yeah, that's something interesting too. I mean, I talked about it with my friend Maya, who's from the Dominican Republic, but she's like, yeah, I have to go and eat lunch, breakfast, whatever, at the time that the hall, because she has catered food for her hall at ANU. And she's like, yeah, I'm out here eating breakfast at like 8 a.m., lunch at, I guess, like noon, and then dinner at 6 p.m. I can't.
That is
I can't.
insane.
6 p.m. Like, I've had days when my family eats dinner at like 10.
Yeah, it's common.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly common.
Yeah.
Like the regular time would be 8. And I think that another factor in why we always have dinner so late, do you have once very often?
Once?
Once, it's another divide when it comes to how you say it in different South American countries. So, like, when you have something in between lunch and dinner. Merienda?
Yeah.
Merienda, yeah.
Merienda.
Chile has a huge merienda culture in the sense that sometimes our dinner is mostly what we have in between lunch and dinner, and then on dinner for dinner we have like a small thing.
Yeah.
You know, in Chile we eat a lot of bread because we have great bread. So it's just like you eat breakfast at 10:30, eat a lot of bread, and then you have lunch kind of late-ish, you know.
With a lot of bread?
Well, not always with a lot of bread, but usually with a lot of beans.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of beans, and then we have once with a lot of bread again, and then we have a small thing for dinner.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how healthy that is. It sounds pretty unhealthy. I felt very unhealthy when I came back to Chile, and I had to
really
readapt to that,
wow
way of eating.
At least you're full. I feel like bread fills you up, so
Yeah, I'm always full.
yeah. I'm always hungry. We have opposite problems.
Mm.
Maybe I should go to Chile, you know?
You will go to Chile, and you'll gain like 20 kilos.
Yeah, I actually went to this one Chilean restaurant in Melbourne
Ooh.
recently, and I had an empanada. It was so good. It was so good.
Did you have the empanada de queso or pino? Was it cheese or like meat?
It was meat.
Oh yeah,
And it was
de
like
pino.
we had to put some sort of
Pebre.
yes.
Pebre. A great
It was
salsa.
so good. It was so good. And it was funny because I actually ordered a churrasco.
Oh,
And they-
churrascos are great.
Yeah, and then they just gave me an empanada instead. I don't know why. But honestly, they gave it to me and it looked so good that I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm going to eat this. And it was wonderful.
And have you had churrasco?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're going to love churrasco as well. Just Chilean food in general, it just gets me going. I love it. We have such incredible food. We have the typical empanadas. We have, a lot of burgers like churrascos.
Mm-hmm.
We have completos, which is a Chilean hot dog that has avocado and tomato and like mayonnaise, which for some reason people find strange.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like mayo in a hot dog is so common. It was never an issue, but when I talked about it with Australians, like, mayonnaise on a hot dog?
Really?
Really?
I don't know. I feel like in Venezuela we put whatever we want on a hot dog.
Yeah.
It's like
we don't care.
yeah, like whatever your heart desires, you can put
Exactly.
it in an arepa, on a hot dog, whatever you want.
Yeah, but we also have incredible pastel de choclo. That is like one of my favorite foods. We have curanto, which is very, very cool because you actually cook it underground with a lot of hot rocks, and you put like a bunch of meats and seafood. We have a lot of seafood, logically being a large coastal country.
Mm-hmm.
We have great ceviche.
Oof.
We have pebre, which is a nice salsa. We have centolla. Just great
What's
things in
centolla?
general. Centolla is like a huge crab, basically.
Oh, wow.
And you eat it mostly in the south of Chile,
Mm-hmm.
and you eat it with lettuce, lemon, and a lot of mayonnaise.
Lots of mayo.
Lots of mayonnaise. Homemade mayo, not...
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you make homemade mayo? Do you know?
I do know. You put... so first you put eggs, then a little bit of salt, some vinegar so it doesn't cut, some garlic if you have good taste, and then you start putting some oil slowly while you press it. So it's going to create a reaction, and it creates homemade mayo, and it's absolutely amazing.
That sounds delicious.
I cannot have normal mayo. I need to make it on my own, by myself.
Yeah. And so do you cook a lot?
I love cooking. Yeah. The thing is that I come from a very large family.
Mm-hmm.
I am the oldest of 5, and I have 4 little
wow.
sisters. So sometimes I was the one in charge of cooking. And, my grandpa loved cooking. My grandma loves cooking. My mother loves cooking.
It runs in the family.
Everyone, it runs in the family. So I just got it. And, I always try to cook some Chilean things. And I've cooked a lot of things for LASA events as well. I've made empanadas. I've made pastel de choclo. I've made leche asada. And, my friends have done causa, which is a Peruvian mio, that's pretty good. Palla Italiana, that's from Brazil, even though it's called Italian.
Yeah, I was surprised because I was talking with Eloisa, which is from LASA. She's also Chilean. And she was telling me about how completos, you can have like a regular one and then you can have like an Italian one.
Yeah, completo italiano.
Yeah, so what's the difference between the two of them?
So completo italiano is the one that you actually had. So we have the avocado that is green. Then we have the tomato that is red. And then the mayo that is white. So you got the flag of Italy there.
Wow.
So that's why we call it completo italiano. And completo is like the complete version of our hot dog. That also has chucrut, which is
like sauerkraut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we add sauerkraut on top, and we put mayo, and we put tomato sauce, and we make it like a full thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
It is delicious. It is pretty good.
So, do you cook for yourself here?
Yes.
At uni?
I try to cook for myself every day, but with how busy life gets, it's not that easy. I usually try to cook a lot of Chilean food. The most common thing that I cook, charquicán, because it's very, very cheap. It's just pumpkin, potato, and carrots. You boil it, mush it, you add minced beef, and then you put a fried egg on top.
Ooh, that sounds so
It's
good.
Great.
It's like that mixture of like sweet and salty.
Yes, exactly. And I love it. And I just freeze all that stuff. I mush it, and then I put some minced beef on top. And it's so quick, so great, nutritious, cheap. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
It's very cheap. I also do lentejas quite a bit. I know that's not a Chilean thing, but I think most of South American people had to go through the process of eating lentejas once a week at least.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of lentejas?
Yes, I love them.
Thank God. Because so many kids hate lentejas.
Why?
Because it's like the one thing that they usually don't like.
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
It's got
They're
vegetables.
Yummy.
It's got... who likes vegetables, right?
My mom cooks lentejas super well. So I think I didn't really have a choice. I had to like it because it was really good. So,
Do you have something called comicaya?
No, not that I know of.
Every time that I was asking my Mom, what are we going to have to eat? It's like comicaya, which is eat and shut up. Every time I didn't like something.
That is so good.
Every time I didn't like something, it's like comicaya. And she said it so much to a point that I really thought comicaya was an actual meal. I thought people ate comicaya. It's like, Mom, what is actually comicaya?
That is so good. I will be putting that in my pocket, and I will be using that later because that is so good.
That is great. There's a lot of things that people always say in Chile that if I have kids, I'll always imitate.
Yeah.
Comicaya.
And so you worked at a Chilean. Is it like a grocery store?
Yeah, it is a sparse convenience store, but owned by a Chilean family, and it sells pisco, which is a typical Chilean drink. Ooh. Just to throw some beef to all the Peruvians. No, it's just a joke.
Is it like a battle of who? Yeah.
Imagine I say that the arepa is Colombian.
Oh my God.
That's what I feel when people say that pisco is Peruvian.
Yeah.
That's the beef we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just something we throw around. Sometimes I just say it as a joke and people take it way too personally. It's like, no, I was just joking. But they sell pisco, they sell empanadas, and they're great people. Gonzalo, who's the owner of the store, came to Chile in the 1970s, and he's pretty much lived his life by himself and created an incredible community and family here in Australia. He also created a Latin American club.
Nice.
Yeah, but way behind. Way back.
Yeah.
And he did football events, and he's also inspired me to do quite a bit of things with LASA. Like our football event happening the 11th of May, right? Yeah, May.
Yes.
11th of May.
Yeah, you should come out to that. I didn't go to the last one that was at UC, but I went to the one at ANU, and that was so much fun.
Yeah.
So I came early to help a little bit, and I don't know, I had met a good amount of people from LASA, but not really. Like, I don't think I had
Mhm.
really gotten the chance to fully talk to them.
Mhm.
I think the only time I really got to talk to people was during that empanada meeting thing.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it was just, everyone was so nice. Everyone was so cool. And I don't know, it was just like, okay, so in the US, I lived in a very, very Latin town. Like, it was called Weston, but there were so many Venezuelans that it was called Westonzuela. So I'm like used to having, I guess, that Latin culture around me all the time.
Mhm.
But for some reason, when we were like cutting the tomatoes and like, mushing the palta, not the
That's great.
aguacate. Yeah. I don't know. I just like, the reggaeton was playing. Everyone was speaking in Spanish. I was talking to David about like Venezuela, and he was talking to me about Chile. And I was like, wow, like this really reminds me of Venezuela. Like, and I left when I was 7 or 8. So, I didn't really get to grow up there, but I did spend a good amount of time there. And I just remember, again, sitting there, like cutting the onions, whatever, and just being like, this feels like home, And I feel like that is so special to be able to replicate that in a country where technically it's not Latin American, but the fact that we can still get together and, play some futbolito, eat some completos, like that's really fun. So,
You don't understand how happy that makes me to.
yeah.
So thank you very much, Isabel.
Yeah. No, I think LASA has been really special because for me, I'm coming from the U.S. and there's a huge club culture in the U.S. where it's like
Mhm.
everyone's super involved, everyone's in a club, and everyone really like le champichon, like
Le
it's like
champichon, sí,
yeah, like
Ride or dies for their club.
exactly. Like back home, I have this fashion club that I'm a part of, and we do a fashion show every single year, and there's like committees that do like the designing, that do the styling, that do the actual like production, and like setting up of like the venue. It's like this whole process, and we're in it for an entire year, and everyone's like really going at it for the whole year. And then coming here and just seeing that club culture is just like kind of optional. It's like, especially I feel like in UC, it's even more like that because I feel like it's a lot more locals, like a lot of Canberra locals. So yeah, like I remember just being like, oh wow, like there's not that many people that are involved. But then I came to LASA and I was like, honestly, like this is awesome. Like, there's like events going on like pretty regularly and people come out. Like I think every single time, like I feel like I've seen the same people at all the events that I've been to, and everyone's super cool, super kind. So yeah, I don't know. It's been really nice to have LASA. It's made my exchange here super special. So thank you.
Thank you. How long do you have left, by the way?
I leave at the end of May.
Really?
Yes. I know it's really coming up soon, and I'm like in such denial because I really like it here, actually. I really like Australia. I really like, well, I like Canberra. I've been to Sydney and Melbourne. I feel like I would like Melbourne better, but like overall, I really love the people here. Australians are super like social and stuff like that, which I feel like in the US, they're not as, it's like people are a little bit more introverted. I don't know. I just really like the atmosphere here. So yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I'm leaving in like a month and a half. Like that is so weird to think about.
Yeah.
Because I worked for like 8 months just to save up to come here. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be here for so long. Like 4 months is such a long time. And now I'm like, oh my God, like I am more than halfway through and I have to start getting ready to leave. Like that is so strange.
That
so
is insane. But
yeah.
Thanks for letting me know. We'll throw a goodbye party.
Oh yeah.
What about that?
Yes.
You said goodbye party.
Oh my God, please. That would be so fun. Maya, who's from LASA at ANU, is also leaving around the same time. So maybe we can make it like a joint.
Leaving?
So actually, her and I are roommates from the US. So we came here together, but she's at ANU and I'm at UC. And yeah, she's been going to like the LASA events, but like for ANU and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, in that case, I'll talk to Marcos. We'll make it happen.
Yes. I love Marcos too.
Marcos is great.
Yeah.
LASA wouldn't be a thing without, like, LASA UC wouldn't be a thing without Marcos. He always brings support. He he's just great.
Mm-hmm. I love how much you work with like the ANU LASA. Like I feel like it's really nice that you guys collaborate and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really glad to.
Yeah, we don't see it as much of a competition, you know. We're all Latinos, you know, because so many people see UC and ANU as counter. You know, you cannot do events with ANU. You cannot hang out with ANU.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. But
Yeah,
yeah.
But you know, we just see it as like we're a bunch of Latinos. Let's hang out and have fun. And like people who are interested in Latin American culture. I'd say that's like 35% of our members. You know, people who are just like interested in Latinos' way of dancing, partying, or we're just very fun people. You know.
Yeah, I love seeing people like be interested and actually come out to the events and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up, thank you all for listening to this incredible episode. Thanks, Isa. And just follow uc.lasa on Instagram and come to our events.
Yes,
and
you should
be
do
great people.
It was nice seeing you guys, and we'll see you next time on Mondays at 7 p.m.